when Xander was saying that, I blame Nick for how this looks. He's right. The buck stops with Nick. If that's Nick's decision to do the same thing, another inexperienced play caller, okay, that's on Nick. If the offense looked like that on Saturday, that's on Nick. If the offense doesn't move the sticks or make Jalen Hurts better, I'll tell you what, I can't wait to see what Sean Mannion and his influence has been on Jalen Hurts. Because his influence on Tanner McKee has been brutal. After 93 career starts, Hurts has the same stats as Peyton Manning had after 93 starts. So let me get this right. You think Jalen Hurts is the same passer as Peyton Manning? In a different NFL? So in his first 93 starts, are you suggesting I'm real that Jalen Hurts is Peyton Manning as a passing quarterback who threw for 70 grand? Is that what you're saying? I love these people that do this. Same career stats. 93 starts. Peyton Manning. Okay, so let me get this right. Peyton Manning in his first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years, the amount of years that Jalen Hurts has been in the league, threw for 41-35, 44-13, 41-31, 4,300, and 42-67, with 26 touchdowns, 33 touchdowns, 26 touchdowns, 27 touchdowns, and 29 touchdowns. And you're telling me a guy who's never thrown for 4,000 yards and a guy who's thrown in his first 7 years, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of his first 7 years threw for over 4,300 yards? Highly unlikely, guy. How is that? Jesus criminy. The same guy. Wow. People just be saying shit like Google doesn't exist. Right? Hey, right. All you got to do is go back and go, wait, this guy's averaging 4,300 yards. And Jalen Hurts threw for 2,900 yards 1 year. And he's the same passer. Hurts throws way less passes. You think? Peyton Manning threw the ball 575, 533, 571, 591, 566. No time in his career, except for the final year of his career in Denver, did he throw for 334 yards, or 334 attempts, like Hurts did the Super Bowl year. And this guy's got 539 TD passes. It's almost like Google doesn't exist. You're right. He said he got the same stats you included his rushing yards, does he not? They're including his rushing yards. It's rushing yards. Start to believe the Eagles can't develop quarterbacks. You're right. Manning has 6,000 more passing yards over that time. Add the TD passes next. Put the TD passes up. Let's see here. 52. 85. This guy's got 85 TD passes in 3 years. Hurts has like 89 TD passes in his career. Manny did that in 3 years. First 93 starts, Manning has 170 touchdowns. Hurts has 173. Yeah. There you go, man. That guy's it. Hey, that guy make you think Peyton Manning and Jalen Hurts are the same guy. Woo! Here's a good question. Who's better, Hurts or Nix? Who's the coach? Leon. Who's the offensive coordinator? Who's calling plays? Who's putting Bo Nix in a position to succeed? Sean Peyton or Sean Mannion? Oh, well, so Bo Nix has the better play caller. Okay. You think coaching matters? Like with Sam Darnold? Right? Yes, and develops quarterbacks. Yes. Absolutely. Tell you what, Darius Cooper better step his ass up over the next 3 weeks if he wants to get playing time. Or you know what he's going to be delegated to? The practice squad. Because if he has another bad week in game, I'm going to play Elijah Moore. And I'm going to feel more comfortable playing Elijah Moore. Sills, I live by coaching matters. Of course. Hey, you know what, James? Coaching in college doesn't matter as much as coaching in the NFL. Recruiting matters in college. Getting the best kids in the room. I'm not saying not having great assistant coaches doesn't matter, because it does. But Jimmy's and Joe's in college. You get to the NFL, you got to have great coaching. Problem solvers. Peyton Manning didn't have protections for him while running a high school offense either. Dude. I mean, Peyton Manning and Jalen Hurts as a pocket guy? Come on, man. That'd be like talking about Peyton Manning and Jalen Hurts as running quarterbacks. It'd be as dumb. Yes, sir. You're not lying, Sills. Because then players know when they have to take over a game if the coach's shit ain't working. Correct. Yes. AJ's a number one. There shouldn't be a better wide receiver. Well, let me say this. You're like one of the comments we made 2 weeks ago, and we asked this question. There's no doubt, dude, you're going to miss this guy. Can't develop head coaches and quarterback because the front office meddles. Any coincidence that left Jim Johnson, Vic alone, and you see the defensive plays well? Hey, riding the bench, Wentz wasn't coached well at the end. Hurts hasn't been coached well in the last 3 years. And now McKee's falling apart. You don't think there's a coincidence to that? Word sales. My husband loves Bo Nix, but one thing, like Parcells always said, the reps and starts always matter. Nix had 62 starts between Auburn and Oregon, even if he's 26. I think that's one of the reasons why Purdy has played well in San Francisco. I think he had over 43-something starts as a player up at Iowa State, and I think that helped him. I think that helped him in the process. Not McKee's fault. The coaches can't get the team prepared, same as last year. Let's see what happens in the Patriot game. Keep an eye on that. Remember what I said to you last week? What was the one thing I said? Kim, you remember what I said last week? My observation is going to be how Sean Mannion does and the preparation of the team. What are you going to do situationally? How are you going to move the sticks with lesser players? That's what I wanted to see, and I didn't see it. Just how much more can Hurts take from a new OC? Dude, my question is, this is so much about Nick and not Jalen. Nick made the suggestion you should see whether or not you want to go upstairs or on the sidelines. What does quarterback want? What does the quarterback want? Does the quarterback want you on the sidelines? Why are you leaving that up to Sean? Guys, if this doesn't tell you how they don't really look at Jalen Hurts' opinion and care about Jalen Hurts' opinion, then nothing else will. Sean Mannion's going to make that call on where he's going to call plays. Why don't you ask Hurts what he wants? Hey, do you want me on the sidelines, Jalen? Or do you want me in the booth? Why don't you ask the quarterback what he feels comfortable with? Nope. It's about Nick's system. It's about the Eagles running a pass system and not really looking at what the quarterback wants. It just completely reeks of inexperience. So ask it again. Sean Mannion said in the presser today, the plan all along was for me to potentially do a game from the side and then from the booth. Wait a minute. You should ask your quarterback what you feel more comfortable with. Do you want me on the sideline so we can have direct communication, or do you want me in the booth? What do you want? Nope. It's up to Sean and Nick. Tells you right there. That tells you right there. Shouldn't that be up to the quarterback, what he feels? I mean, I've heard Brady say it numerous times. He didn't want his play caller in the booth. He wanted his play caller on the bench with him. And that's where Josh McDaniels, Bill O'Brien, that's where all those play callers were. They were on the sidelines. Brady said it numerous times. I don't want him in the bench. I don't want him in the booth. I want him with me. But no, that's going to be up to Nick. Okay. Yes, you definitely can't do it from the booth. That's for sure. It's just a ruse for not being competent. Get this. It's sad world when you've got to look at the numbers to diminish a winner, but when excuse for a loser because he throws for 4K. Take that up with your coaching staff, guy. This sideline versus upstairs shit reminds me of when I asked a World War II vet about Private Ryan. He said he liked the movie, but had one bone to pick. I asked what? He said, we had radios. Funny. We had radios. If the offense looks like this again in preseason week 2, Sean better be watching from his TV. Let's see. Hey, tomorrow we turn the page. Then it's Patriots. Because of all the years I've watched your team play preseason football, you've never looked that bad. Like I said, James, I never bring a score up in preseason football. I never bring it up. Okay? I bring up matchups, what you do in rotation, your groupings. I look at your young talent, your depth. What's the next generation of Eagle players that's going to be filtered in with the guys you have on your 22? Oh, by the way, that's not really an indictment at all in any way on the Eagle 22. But could it become a precursor? If you didn't have answers for lesser talent, do you have answers for better talent? Or are you the same coach? To me, you're the same coach. Ask yourself this. If you don't have answers for lesser talent, how are you going to have answers for better talent? Aren't you the same coach? Aren't you the same guys? Are you not? Aren't you the same dude? So if you got lesser talent, you're under more obligation to get your guys in better position. You got to scheme around that. Well, that means you don't have answers. Sean Mannion had no answers on Saturday to get his guys in better positions to excel. I want to make a point to you about Philadelphia here. The more he tries validating Hurts, nobody validates Mahomes. Nobody has an conversation about that. The more you talk like that, the more you sound stupid. Seals, why are the Eagles waiting for week 1 to have growing pains? Why not now? Tremendous question. Tremendous question. I don't know. They think they're going to right the ship that they couldn't right a year ago. By the way, am I right when I say this? That preseason game was as poorly coached as the 49er game. Am I wrong? That game was as poorly coached as the 49er game. Sills was one of the reasons Jimmy Johnson made the Herschel Walker trade, because he knew Emmitt Smith was going into the draft next year. Let me tell you this. Jimmy was 3 years ahead of building that team. He knew what he was doing. You're right. From day one when he got there. He needed a complete overhaul because the roster got too old. And Coach Landry got too set in his ways. God rest his soul. And I love Coach. But he was too loyal. Dude, stop trying to diminish the truth. 4K yards in the regular season is not going to win you playoff games. You can't take your regular season passing numbers with you into the playoffs. This guy just doesn't get it. If this was the case, folks, Sean Mannion would not have been hired and Kevin Patullo would have remained. The Eagles are making an entire facelift because the passing game is not where it needs to be with balance. That's why they've made all these schematic changes. He refuses to believe all the things the Eagles have done with Stowers, with Lemon, and all of this other stuff, hiring of these other guys. He just refuses to believe that they've made all these schematic changes, terminology changes, all of it, because the passing game stunk. And they want a better passing game. It's hard to believe. This is what you call an excuse machine. Jalen Hurts gets the benefit of bad coordinators. Tanner McKee is being accused of being a dud now. Well, how do you know it's not Sean Mannion? That's affected Tanner McKee. I see. You only use that on excuse for Hurts. But if another guy struggles, it's the quarterback. Is that right? I never said you had a fucking super team. I think if anything was on display, you got your face kicked in, and your young Eagles, their face kicked in on Saturday by a better, younger team and their younger Ravens. Face kicked in. Make your mind up. Do we have a super team? I never said you had one. End of story for you, guy. Go sit down. Dobbs has been getting nearly all the reps, Z reps. AJ at X. It's going to be interesting to see how they use him and move him around. I guess Mayan missed this. Let's see here. So as you talk smack, that was a vanilla style offense. Oh, I'm guessing that you think the Ravens put a high-powered offense against your defense or ran a high-powered Ravens defense against your team, right? They had their backups too in. What was the difference? Preparation and effort. Coaching and effort were a problem, Nick. What? The Ravens were the only team trying to get better? How come the Eagles weren't? How come the Eagles weren't trying to get better? What do you mean, boo? What do you mean? Dude, they had 440 yards of total offense with their backups. Your young Eagle team got their face kicked in. Seals and Eagle fans, if this was the first game of the season, it's horrible. If the starters played how different than last year, we're in trouble. James, it's the same problems you had last year. Can't get off the field. Can't stay on the field. Didn't matter if it was your ones or your twos. Was the same thing. Right? Didn't matter. Trey, I get it, but not that you want to score touchdowns. They react, evaluate the offense. Okay, I buy that. But, bro, you got to keep your offense on the field to evaluate. Great take. Hey, and to your point, intern, how do you evaluate this? 3 plays, 3 yards. 3 plays, 4 yards. 3 plays, 5 yards. That's your first 3 series in the first quarter. That's some evaluation. How do you know who's playing well? So our depth sucks